Through the COVID pandemic, Nicola reminded us daily to restrict ourselves to our immediate bubble. Now, we knew what that meant. Our bubble was the people that we live with, but there's another bubble that doesn't get the same attention. And this bubble is what we've been restricted to living inside without even realising it our entire lives. And that bubble is called our mind. Let's imagine that our mind includes everything my brain is thinking about, talking to me about, remembering, fantasising about, plus what I'm feeling in my body and what I'm sensing or picking up or what my intuition is telling me. In fact, I like to picture that our mind is bigger than we are. That it's like one of those big inflatable balls you see people inside them running about and bumping into each other. If our mind includes all of us, our body, our brain, plus extending to say a couple of feet around us in all directions, then that image helps me understand why sometimes we might pick up what the other people are feeling around us, or why it's important that we're careful with who we spend close time with. If all our minds extend to a few feet around our bodies, then being around someone who's, continually moaning about politics or bitching about colleagues, or even being with someone who's sulking or silently annoyed, is going to affect your mind as well as their own. We might not even realise that a feeling is coming from someone else, but if our minds are intermingling, even though we're physically apart, then I'll be affecting them and they'll be affecting me. Now, some people think that our minds extend way beyond just a few feet around us, and some say the opposite, that our mind just lives inside our brain. But to help us be more aware of our mind, we can use the idea of this invisible mind field that surrounds us. That means that our mind is both inside us, inside our brain and our bodies, and also that we live inside our own mind because it's also invisibly surrounding us. It's maybe a bit heavy, but the reason this is so important to us on our journey to change the way that we feel is that many of us will put too much emphasis on trying to change what's out there beyond our own mind field, expecting that to bring us happiness. But if we concentrate on changing what happens in here and in here, then we might just find a longer lasting happiness. New cars, jumping jobs, moving house, moving countries, swapping old relationships for the thrill of a new one can sometimes just be us changing the scenery without changing our lives where it really matters on the inside. When we only focus on continually changing the outside rather than the inside, it's like rearranging the furniture on the deck of the Titanic. It might look a bit better, but that ship is still sinking. Far better our efforts are channeled into changing something longer lasting and more important if we really want to find a sense of being at peace with our lives. Now, before we burst our own mind by overworking it, the next video discusses how we can use this image of the mind field to understand what actually is happening inside of our minds.